welcome to a pre-release Swiss block draft with Journey into Nyx in the fold. So we got a full Theros block. I'm here joined by my good friend and yours, Lucky Draw.
Yo.
I'm going to pull up a window here, but I'm almost certainly taking Cetizen Tactics because I think that card is pretty sweet. But let me pull up a card window if I can remember how to do that. Card, pop out, boom. Alright. So Cetizen Tactics is like a super sweet combat trick. It's got the new Strive mechanic. So for 2 mana, you get to basically untap a guy. Your creatures all get +1/+1, and they all gain fight. So they all gain tap, tap, and a fight. So that's pretty sick. And then for every extra green you cast, another creature gets that. So that's... I don't know what... I have no idea what removed means.
I've been staring at it the whole time. Why does that say removed?
I have no idea what this means. This card has been removed from our pack before we had a chance to pick it. I'm taking Cetizen Tactics. I have no idea what that means.
I mean, the artist just went in a very strange direction with that art.
I think that card's pretty good, actually. I think Brain Maggot's actually really good also. That's it's the 1/1 Thoughtseize type guy. There used to be a card back in the day.
Mesmeric Fiend?
Mesmeric Fiend, possibly.
I'll throw that out.
So you choose a non-land card and exile it until this guy... So this guy has to be answered. I think that's good. Let's see what else we got. The High Priest, I think, is probably pretty good in your average heroic type white deck, which most of them want to be.
Ooh. That does seem strong.
I like that this Minotaur is pensive. I think that's one of the best descriptors for a card. I don't know what makes him pensive. He's just your average 2/3 Minotaur for 3, but maybe that's what he's thinking about. Am I really average? What can I do to be better?
Well, yeah, his thinking doesn't help him in battle any, it looks like.
Yeah, it slows him down a little bit and keeps him average. I think Hubris is pretty sweet for a blue tempo-y type Voyager's End type effect. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I think returning all the auras... I mean, it's better because of mana purposes. I'm taking the Brain Maggot.
I'm not sure if that's better than the High Priest, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So here we have the Dictate of Karamitra. That is no good.
Yeah,
that is not good. If that was only you, that would probably be pretty reasonable. But for everybody, no good. So moving on, your average giant Cyclops guy, fine. Consigned to Dust. I think that's actually probably pretty good in the complete Theros block set, now that there's a whole bunch of extra enchantment creatures, because in this set, there's a lot of creatures that are just enchantment creatures without bestow. Like, there's just a lot of extra enchantments. Like, apparently in Nyx, everything's an enchantment when you journey there.
Yeah.
Everything's an enchantment. So anyway, there's Consigned to Dust, that's probably reasonable. I think Cruel Feeding is okay. I don't think that's probably amazing. I'm not in a huge hurry to jump onto the Humbler of Mortals. I think it's one of the better 6-drops in green. Grim Guardian has actually played against me. It was actually surprisingly good. I don't know what we want to take here. We got 4 seconds. What do you think? Grim Guardian it is.
Sure.
I don't know that was... another Dictate of Karamitra. Another Grim Guardian. I did play a guy who had a pretty sick black deck with 2 Grim Guardians, and you don't gain life, but they dealt me a good probably 5-6 damage over the course of a match, which is legit. I think the Gnarled Scarhide is very good in a aggressive black deck. You just get a 2/1, and you can also bestow him. So I think that's reasonable here.
You don't usually want to be an aggressive black deck, though, right?
There's, I think, a few new black aggressive cards in this set, but obviously that's only 1 set out of 3. I think Thassa's Ire is okay, but the 4 mana cost to tap or untap kind of locks you down.
That doesn't seem good to me.
Cloak Siren I played with at the pre-release. That's just your average 3/2 flash flyer. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Looks like the best one to me so far.
Then there's Armament. I think that's Humbler. You want to go blue and just take the Cloak Siren?
Yeah.
I mean, another Grim Guardian might be okay, or the Scarhide. I think the Scarhide actually may not be terrible.
What looks open here?
Well, I think it's hard to know, especially in a Swiss and a new set. Like, there's some reasonable white cards coming. Sure. This is a blink effect. I don't think that's amazing.
The vanilla 3/1 white guy seems pretty strong.
He does. So does this guy. It's a 2/3 Death Touch, and all your Minotaurs have Death Touch.
Oh, okay.
In black, a color that you're going to have Minotaurs. I think that's pretty good, actually. I think black is pretty strong now in the full block also, by the way. Now that you only have one Theros, one Born of the Gods, and then one Journey. I think black is pretty reasonable. I also think Enchanted Creature gets +1/+3 and has Death Touch is reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't think that's great. I played with this guy. He was a darn fine creature. I'm going to stick with this guy. I think this is a pretty good guy as well. I mean, we haven't taken any white cards. Maybe that's my fault. But I think the Nyx Weaver's pretty sweet. And here's, I think the Urkoa Mastiff's pretty good too. The 2/2, 1 tap a guy. I did play with the Satyr Grove Dancer, and that's a pretty good... Basically, he's a 2/2 if you want him to be a 2/2, and if you draw him late, you get to put the +1/+1 on another guy. That's actually quite a bit better than random 2/2. Also, there's the Bloodcrazed Hoplite, which is the 2/1 heroic. You get to put
that guy does seem pretty strong.
This guy seems pretty good. You get a +1/+1 and remove a +1/+1.
What's the Nyx Weaver do?
The Nyx Weaver is a 2/3 reach, and you start putting cards in your graveyard, and then you can exile it to return one of those graveyard cards to your hand. I think that's probably pretty good in a deck. I'm going to go with the Bloodcrazed Hoplite, though. I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good
this could wheel if no one's black-green.
I'm probably not from that many picks left, but...
Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, we look pretty solidly black so far.
I think so.
Blue, green, or other, we don't know yet.
Right. I think Urkoa Mastiff is actually pretty good. Here we got the Deadbringer Lampads. They're 4/2. And then whenever they or another creature comes in, target creature gains Intimidate. I think that's reasonable. A reasonable 5-drop. Aerial Formation. You got the Strive mechanic, and any number of target creatures gain +1 and +1 on flying.
That's like a decent finisher.
That's a decent finishing trick, I think. The Mastiff again. This card was actually surprisingly good. Return up to 3 target creature cards from your graveyard to hand. 3 is a lot.
Seems slow, though.
It is. What do you think we should go? We got 2 seconds. Aerial Formation it is.
Wait until there's 10 seconds left and let's look to pick this time.
Okay. Alright, 2/4 Heroic. You may return a target enchantment to your hand. That's not terrible.
Okay.
That's not great. Got the Aspect of Gorgon, which is okay, I think, in a green deck. This is the 2/3 Constellation. Whenever it comes in, prevent all damage that would be able to target creature. I don't think that's amazing. I mean,
you can't do it at instant speed.
Yeah, I can't do it at instant speed.
Green guy looks solid to me.
Green guy is solid. There's
and
also
blue
draw 2.
Draw card is okay.
And the Aspect of Gorgon I think is okay, but let's take the green guy. Okay, what do we got here? This is obviously good in a super mono blacky type deck.
We're kind of looking like that.
That's actually possibly a reasonable card for it. Even if you figure you have like 4 swamps, he's a 4/4 for 4. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean...
That's not probably going to be on turn 4, but... I don't really care about that. I don't care about the counterspell or this.
Black Eye has the most upside. Is there anything else that's...
This guy's okay, but I think this is one of the black cards.
We might not play the leeches at the end, but if we end up very heavy black, he'll be awesome.
True. There's the green heroic guy. This is the 3/4 for 5, and then you get to put 2 +1s on him. So he's kind of like the Theros guy. That's a 3/3, but this one's a 3/4.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I forget his name. So that's probably the most upside. There's also 2 aspects of Gorgon, but I think that's probably the pick here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of swelled with all the good bestow enchantments, the old dumb type enchantment auras that can just give you a 2-for-1 don't seem so good anymore.
Here, since I don't think we're jumping into red and I don't think these things are amazing, I think Consigned to Death is actually probably pretty reasonable. I was saying this earlier. I think that's
probably never going to be more than a 2-for-1, but 2-for-1 is good.
Nothing wrong with the 2-for-1. The Dictate of Karametra's flow. This lets you ramp up. I'm not sure if we're super rampy, but it adds 2 extra mana, or it's Cruel Feeding. Target creatures get +1/+0.
Mana cost?
4.
Oh,
yeah. I think we'll take the Cruel Feeding. And there's the Aspect of Gorgon, or we can rare draft. I actually might play. I mean, if we have enough heroic guys, this is actually pretty reasonable. I mean, if you make your Thunderhoof a 6 like 8 or 9 like Death Touch. That's not bad.
3 toughness and Death Touch, and removal's hard to come by.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so this is what we got. It almost looks like we're probably not blue, but let's see what comes our way. Fated Return comes our way. I don't think... Well, no, I don't think we probably want to do that. Of course, we open pretty good white card. Here, I think it's probably the Tromper?
There's a few good green cards. Tromper, Query... I guess...
I played with this guy, and I didn't particularly like him. It could be that I just didn't play it correctly. But
I like that card. I
really?
mean, but it's more situational, for sure.
The Raiders are okay, but, I mean, you don't really have to look hard to find 6 drops. And again, I mean, that's okay, but you have to already kill their good creature.
Yeah.
It does become indestructible, and it can swoop in at instant speed, but...
It also costs 7.
It does cost 7. I think the format is probably a little slower with the new set. There's one less pack of ordeals.
Well, and especially in a release draft Swiss queue, people aren't going to have a finely honed machine that's going to take you out. Although, throwing a bunch of aggressive red and white cards is never that hard to do.
It's never a terrible strategy. Temple of Plenty. We are in a Swiss draft. I don't think that's worth enough, but let me go to the...
I'm guessing
like 2 or 3
app tickets.
Temple of Plenty. Enlightenment's 1.8. Oh, 3.2.
Buying or selling?
Buying.
Ooh.
Buying 3.2. Okay, so that's not out of the question. I may rare draft that, or I may pass it. There's a Shrike Harpy here.
Yeah.
Shrike Harpy's pretty good.
It is.
I mean, if they don't have any great creatures, it's just 2/2, they sacrifice a shitty creature. What else do we got? We're not super green enough for Aspect of Hydra. The same's probably true of Swordwise Centaur, but, I mean, if we move into green...
Well, I mean, we're... the best deck we can come out with is us heavy black, right?
I think that's probably true. I mean, it depends on how open green is. I mean, this guy on turn 2's sick, but I don't think we're going to be that green.
But I felt like we were getting past black from the right, and this pick really comes down to... tickets or a card.
Alright, so. I'll just take the card. You're welcome, YouTube. You're welcome.
And I was just going to say, we could end up with a deck that the 4-drop that cares about swamps, plus merchants, plus Marsh Mist Titans.
That's true.
I wouldn't take it here, but I think he wills anyway.
I think so. So here's probably a Servant of Timber. That guy's pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's Servant here.
I think so. I mean, I've never been in love with the Wayfinder. I guess if you have a pretty sweet black-green, put stuff in your graveyard deck, but...
We're in the right colors, but we don't have the right cards for it yet.
I agree.
We could pick them up.
Yeah,
but...
it's never really been my favorite kind of deck, but...
no.
So I'll probably take that here. Favor would be fine if it wheeled around. Titan the same. River Trawler is pretty reasonable if you have enough enchantments, and especially good if you're playing white, but I think the Servant's
River
probably...
Trawler is enchantment creature, right?
It is an enchantment creature.
How many of those did we pick up at a journey?
We've got 1, 2...
Ooh. That does work very well with Brain Maggot.
It does. But, moving on.
Yeah.
So, we get the Black Oak if we want to be really defensive. Or, I mean, I think we're probably pretty clearly black-green. I don't think we're going to be jumping in blue, especially I don't think God Hunter's that good.
Well, color sword for a second.
And we do have a God Hunter Octopus. We want to show blue.
Yeah. No, I mean...
Yeah, I think it's pretty much black-green here. So...
Especially I haven't seen any blue cards coming this way.
I mean, like, Divinations and random, like, okay stuff. So it's probably the Black Oak or the Mortal's Resolve. I don't love either one of those cards. I mean, this is a fine defender. I don't know that we're... I guess it's the Black Oak. I mean, we'll probably be able to get some tricks. We have not a lot, really, of... we just got the Blood Crazed Hoplite, so we're really not that aggressive. I mean, the Mortal's Resolve is probably fairly reasonable, but... the Black Oak does work with some stuff. But anyways, I assume you're owing about a 68 here? Or is it the Mind Reaver?
Mind Reaver.
Mind Reaver! We see if we would have rare drafted that land, we could totally splash Reapwood of Sown in this deck. If this isn't a Reapwood of Sown deck, I don't know what is.
We have a heroic guy.
We do. I assume this guy's best in a black-white heroic deck. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
maybe black-red, too. It's good.
I think we made probably a couple bad picks. Like, I think maybe... I don't know. I like this guy actually, but maybe it's not that aggressive. Or maybe we take both and make it better. Either way, we're taking a 68 here. There's a Snake of the Golden Grove. I doubt that gets back. These packs, they're pretty weak in the set. So, moving on. Well, here's some red cards. I guess if you like your late Kragmaw Butchers, Searing Bloods, it's a reasonable pack. Fire Dancer. But I guess we're looking at either a Necrobite or a Fellhide Brawler. I mean, we do have Minotaurs, including a Minotaur that makes our other Minotaurs have Death Touch, so maybe the 2/2...
I would take Necrobite, but...
We got 12 creatures at the moment.
I don't like negative bears.
You don't?
They're not my favorite.
And Necrobite's pretty good, I guess.
I mean, I understand the curve, and our 2-drop slot looks pretty light.
Well, you could probably pick it. You're right.
Still take
all right,
Necrobite.
that's fine. There's a Necrobite. Boom. You lose.
There's a Martimus Titan. I win.
We lost out on that sweet 2/2.
I'm keeping the mono black dream alive, by the way.
Alright, well, let's take the Marshmas Titan here and see what happens. Archetype of Finality.
Hey.
You just take the second Servant here, right? I've played against this guy. It costs a ton, and it's only 3 toughness, but all your creatures having Death Touch is pretty much a pain in the ass to play against. Like,
no, when it comes down, it's a very strong effect.
Like, I played against the guy whose deck was pretty terrible, and he played this guy, and I was like, well, shit. Like, I didn't have really any way to deal with it, and then I think I might have still won, though, so maybe it's not that amazing. We'll take the Servant here. It was tough, though. It was not a happy drop. I wasn't stoked to see it. I don't like any of these cards. In any color, actually. I think they're all terrible cards, so I guess a 2/1... No, that's terrible, too.
I would take Weight of the Underworld and hope to not play it.
It works with Grim Guardian. Boom.
Hey.
Lose 1 life. Game over. Hey, Necrobite. That's alright, I think it's a pretty reasonable card. Looks like red's pretty open, but that's okay. Probably don't need an Aspect of Hydra in a deck with like 3 to 4 green cards, so...
Scouring Sands doesn't hurt us. Oh, it does get our Maggot.
Gets a Brain Maggot. That's okay, I'm not too worried about that one. That's really late Divination. Another Marshmas Titan, I guess. If you like 1, you like 2, right? I don't know. Is that our Springleaf Drum? And I don't think we really... I mean, we have Servants, but...
I mean, Marshmas Titan isn't a great card, but if you're mono black, it's above the curve.
It's the best. I'll take it anyway. Since this is completely not goodly playable, although it's way better now. Way better.
Sideboard Cyclops plan.
Yeah. I guess we'll do the same thing with this. And okay. So we will go to the final pack here. I did not shut the video down, so hopefully it does not time out on us. I think we're doing okay time-wise, though. Picking it up in packs 2 and 3.
It's gone pretty quick.
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and hide these blue cards now.
Alright, Color Sword. How many black cards we got?
Quite a few. I am taking Elspeth. I will not pass 15 tickets, so...
Dude.
Sorry, YouTube land. I'm going to take that over the Read the Bones, even though that is so legit here. Actually, I'm only taking it over Read the Bones, so, yeah. I think Elspeth's like 15 or 16 right now.
Is it?
I believe so. So that pays for this draft. So...
Well, if you hate your viewers and don't care about them at all, I guess you could go ahead and take it here.
That's a pretty accurate assessment of my feeling towards people who watch my videos. So, yeah. There's them.
What an in-your-face move to all of them.
It's not even a 9/4. Although, I would take this in a 9/4 anyway. A 15 ticket. I'm never passing a 15 ticket card.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say never, but I'm not passing it on one of these online drafts that aren't like some sort of crazy, super awesome tournament. The Sylvan Chariot is pretty good, but I love me some Nessian Asp. I think we're probably playing some green cards here. Or at least splashing green.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
which is why, as much as it hurts me to look at the 2-drop slot and see how light it is,
yep.
And so Carried would fit great there. But
yeah.
When we're not heavy green, it's not going to always come down that early.
I love me some
you don't want
Nessian
your
Asp.
fixing, even if it wasn't tilted this way towards heavy black. Asp is just too hard.
I don't know what the guy to our right is, but he's probably not green. So
yeah.
I'll take the Nessian Asp here. Okay, Probably not blue either. But you never know. You never know. You'll never know. Could be white, because there's no white cards here. So it's a Nylea's Disciple, a Baleful Eidolon. Probably not a Lash of the Whip, although we don't really have much removal, except for Asphyxiate. Alright, we're back. My foresight into the video shutting down during a pack of drafting occurred. We ended up taking the Baleful Eidolon, because that card's really good. And then you actually missed another pick that was a pack of Dead Nothing, in which we took a Fate and Antiquity for the sideboard, and here it's Pharika's Cure. So that's an Anax and Cymene. We're not anywhere near red-white, but
Splashing.
seems like someone should be. Red-white's not terrible.
Yeah.
I don't love Savage Satyr Piper, so I think it's just got to be a Savage Surge here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not amazing. We do have a deck, and we're not super green, and we're probably gonna go ahead and hide the Fate and Antiquity. So I mean, we're really we are almost mono black, but the Nessian Asp is good enough, and we're gonna need to play a couple green cards. So.
Yeah, definitely. There we go.
Fleshmad Steed 2-drop. I guess it could be worse.
There's...
The rest of it's not terrible. I mean, the rest of this pack's not good anyway, really. I mean, I don't like the Warden very much. Battle Priest is pretty janky. The Snarecaster's probably the best card, but not amazing. Ooh. Look at these super strong cards. There's got to be another Fleshmad Steed, I think. We'll get our 2-drops, possibly. We'll see how many of them we want to play.
No way of slashing that Scholar.
This is the pack we opened. Well, we could splash Scholar and we could splash Elspeth. Could splash Elspeth.
Actually,
if she wasn't double white, I would splash Elspeth probably. But
yeah,
double white's
we also
too.
have no fixing.
Yeah, double white's no good. Do you take the Viper's Kiss here, or do you just take one of these cards that you think is better, like a Deathbell Raider, and just pull it out?
Kiss.
Alright.
Okay.
It's not a Deathbell Raiders. I don't like Commune with the Gods. How about you?
No, I would take the flanks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I don't really like Cutthroat Maneuver either. Although I did
I think
take...
we already have that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, we took... Fuck is the name of that card? Cruel Feeding. Actually, let's compare them. That's 4 mana. So for 4 mana... any number of target creatures get +1/+0
You get the
on
same
lifelink.
thing except not toughness?
Not toughness. Oh, there's a Shipwreck Singer. I guess we'll just pull.
Yep.
We'll just pull that right out of there. No Shipwreck Singer for you, blue black.
Oh, we're even in black green.
Loathsome Catopopos. And I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna call this a Ravenous Lucracoda. You just spit it right out. It's like this for sure would.
Lucratica.
It's for sure.
I had an extra soul.
I don't even know.
The Miletus.
Yeah. We must defend this hearth. There we go. Yeah, I went there. So we have a deck. I don't know. We do have a free draft, a free Swiss draft. So any round we win, bonus value town. Just open an Elspeth. And
Yeah, no, I didn't pay anything for this draft.
yeah, it's even a better value for you.
No, it's bad value.
Yeah, well,
I didn't get an Elspeth.
That's true. You did not. Well, you should rip better when you do your own drafts. So we're gonna throw this together, and we will be back shortly to talk about the draft. I think still not so sure about some of those Journey picks. But obviously, they're new cards for everybody. I'm not confident that.
No, we took the absolute right card at every pick.
Well, that's probably true. But I was trying to make the people feel better in case they questioned the picks we took. I didn't want them to feel like they were just clearly wrong.
No, they are though.
Yeah, okay. And so we'll be back.
I think we just got cut last pack.
Alright, so we're back. This is the way we threw it together. Very much like this. We talked about land a little bit. We decided to go 11-6. If you go by color sort, we really only have 6 green cards. None of them need double green except for this one, which doesn't need it, but just makes it a lot better. And we have a lot of... Well, obviously everything else is black, but some double black costs in here. And the Squelching Leech is obviously a lot better the more swamps you have. So we went 11-6. It actually suggested 13-4, but I don't feel comfortable running 4 swamps. I don't see any reason to do that. So we were talking between 11-6 and 10... 11-6, 10-7, or even 12-5, but I wanted to go with 11-6, so that's what we're doing. We decided to run one Marshmist Titan, one Necrobite, leave out the Black Oak and the Cruel Feeding, and leaving the Consigned to Dust on the sideboard for now, but I have a feeling this might be a main deckable card in this block as we go forward.
Oh no,
we'll find out.
I think it's main deckable. In fact, one possible final cut. We also didn't play the where is he? The green card that's heroic. Why can't I see it now? There's not that.
We are playing the green card that's heroic. We're playing all our green cards. The Thunderhoof, he's in there.
Oh, we are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he might be a cut for Consigned to Dust. We have that and the other heroic black guy, and we only have 4 heroic effects, right?
We have Savage Surge, Setessan Tactics, Baleful Eidolon, Aspect of Gorgon, Necrobite. 5. We have 5.
Yeah, Baleful.
It's not amazing. It's definitely not amazing. I think the Bloodcraze Hoplight's pretty sick in the right deck, but this is probably not it. But it's still a 2-1 for 2. It's not the worst.
No, it's fine. I just... Any game where we draw both of those, we're going to be pretty unhappy because we only have 5 ways to target, and now we'll have 2 guys that want to be targeted.
I guess actually that's one more way that this card is better than Lash of the Whip. Not Lash of the Whip. Cutthroat Maneuver. Is that this actually targets guys as opposed to Cutthroat Maneuver just gets all your guys.
Well, we could put that in.
Could. I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying it's one way it's different than Cutthroat Maneuver, is you actually target your guys, so it actually affects heroic, whereas... if we're playing that, what are we cutting? Like, the Thunderhoof? I kind of...
if we're going to put another...
Right, that's why we're playing it.
We could cut the Titan. We could...
the Marshmist Titan's always going to be a 4/5. Even if you play it on turn 4 or 5 as a 4/5, like a 4/5, it's okay.
I agree. Well, what do you think about...
Let's do that.
Oh. Well,
I
thought you were arguing for keeping the Titan.
No, I was arguing against the Titan. Obviously you play him for 4/5. I'm saying at best he's a 4/5 for 4 or 5, which is pretty reasonable. But in this format where everything gets really big, like 4/5 is probably not going to take the day for you by itself. Not that that's a reason not to play something, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about like the Thunderhoof. It's a 5, and how many times is it going to be more than 4/5?
Well, it goes to a 5/6. It gets 2+1/1.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's 2. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
I didn't think it was 1.
Yeah, no, if it was 1, I agree. It's not nearly as good. This one, a 5/6, all of a sudden, he's pretty reasonable. If you get him bigger than that, like, he can carry the day. So let's run Cruel Feeding, plus the lifelink is probably not irrelevant. Like, lifelink out of nowhere is pretty sweet, like, surprise. So let's run it this way. See what happens.
Yeah. Oh, we also said that it looked like... I don't know if we got cut in Theros, but definitely the black cards were not flowing. No Garys, no Gorgons, no Disciples.
Yeah, didn't see a whole lot of great black cards. Picked up like a Farika's Cure, which I think is really only like okay anyway. Really almost no black cards in Theros.
Yeah.
So, not sure what happened there. Maybe...
People change minds.
People do change their minds, and it's possible. You're looking at this brand new set, as is everybody else. We saw a lot of black cards in Pack 1. It looked like, might be mono black. It's so open, but who knows? Maybe someone was taking better black cards, and, the black cards we took just weren't that amazing. I don't know. Yeah. But we'll go to Game 1 and see what happens.